Hi, I'm Roberto Martinez and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV with me, Ped and Baz. We're joined by Matt Jones from the Bleacher Report and World Soccer Talk. Posh, very posh, very posh. Could have found your t-shirt.
What's it coming slow with these?
Yeah. Could have found your t-shirt on, Matt. Right, moving on. If the sound quality is not what you're used to, that's because our normal sound fella's not here, so it's probably well better.
It's mild.
That's probably well better. But if it isn't as good this week, that's the reason why we're working on limited equipment. It's what it is. We'll just get on with it. Just press up on the volume.
Like Everton, limited budget, except we are for sale.
Yeah, we're for sale.
We're for sale. We are.
We encourage.
Nobody else might be.
We encourage bids for our services.
Shares.
Yeah, we encourage bids for shares, and we probably are worth more than £127 billion as well, which has been quoted for Everton this week. Not by the club, I would say, just by sources who basically work things out, I think. Right, let's get into this Aston Villa game which happened the week before, so I'm saying, I don't know. See, I'm just completely out of it. Let's get into the Sunderland game. Right, let's get into the Sunderland game. Very, very disappointing. Second week in a row. First of all, we had Aston Villa. Now, Sunderland, another poor team who just turns over without any feeling or thought about us. About us. It's just crap, isn't it? I think it's just rubbish. Flip-flop weather, flip-flop players, flip-flop team, flip-flop manager. Discuss.
Flip-flop budget.
I'm going.
You mentioned Villa because we did do this last week. We done a hangover.
We did, yeah.
That's why. Yeah, it's difficult to talk about really, isn't it? It was rubbish.
Well, let's look at the team selection. Last week he brings Morelos into the team, brings Naismith into the team. This week he brings Osman back into it, brings Ross back into it. And it almost felt like the team that started this week should have been the team that started last week. And the team that started this week, minus Naismith, because obvious reasons, should have started this week. Certainly I would have played Morelos at home on the left against a team like Sunderland and put Ross in there and just give them something to think about. Where we were just far too slow and deliberate, and it was crap, let's be honest.
We talked, didn't we, last week and said about the away, it was almost like a home formation away from home with Aston Villa, and we spoke about the disrespect and everything else. I wasn't surprised to see him go back to Osman and Barkley. They played very, very well against Manchester United the week before, the last home game. But no, it was just rubbish. It was slow and rubbish.
Yeah. I think one of the hallmarks of his management style last year was how he was proactive in games. You look at the Arsenal game when he played Lukaku on the right wing, and those other games throughout the season when he looked at the opposition and thought, right, I'm going to target them here, I'm going to do this, this and this. But against Villa, like you said, it was kind of like we thought, right, we're just going to go toe to toe with these, we're going to attack them. And you've seen against Liverpool with a good side, they've got a lot of energy, good attacking players, and they just overrun us, they outrun us, the outlet us, the outpassed us, they were just a lot better all around the pitch because we were so.
Sorry, what game are you talking about this season?
But the Sunderland one, I think we all knew that even though they needed to win, they were going to come and they were going to try and be solid, and they were going to try and be compact, and you need width to break down those sort of teams. And although Lee Osman does give us a little bit of balance on that left hand side when he does play there, he's not got a direct threat. He doesn't work back as much. He doesn't give you that impetus on that left hand side. So I think it was a kind of game where we did lack someone like Pienaar with that intelligence, that ability to conjure space in those type situations. So it was a peculiar team selection for me, and he's kind of regressed in that sense in terms of being proactive with the 11s he chooses.
I mean, the thing about it is, when Osman started, no real problem with that, but as the game went longer, and you just thought, actually we could do a little bit more here. And it was almost reacting to getting it wrong the week before. Rather than, as you say, setting the team up to play against Sunderland and saying we're going to beat you this way, it was almost like saying, well, we played Mars last week and it didn't work. But it didn't work because you got it wrong last week, not because of, it was the team we were set up against. It just never really worked. And as you said, after 5 minutes, I just thought, Sunderland are not getting beat today. I looked the way they were set up and I went, these are not getting beat. The forward was playing left back, right back, playing all over the park. They'd set up 3 forwards, but the forwards were doing what a lot of forwards have just done this year, and got at our back four or at Gareth Barry to try and break it up, or just slow the game down. And once they slowed the game down, we didn't really have anywhere to go.
I disagree in terms of I didn't expect them Sunderland to win at all. I thought they were dire.
I didn't think they were going to win. I didn't think they were going to get beat.
Oh, I know. I fully expected us to, even when the game kicked off, because they were just rubbish. We had, don't forget, the first 10 minutes we were camped out in their box, but what happens is you start missing it. Osman has a couple of chances in the first 10 minutes, and everyone's like, oh, unlucky, slipped, and different things. And again, it's just making the right decisions. All season we've made the wrong decision in the final third. Ross Barkley, I don't know what people have done. Maybe City have nicked them and just give us some kid clone with the mask on. That was in the fan, the programme a few weeks ago, because he just doesn't look like the same player. He's still trying to make the same runs, but won't pull it through.
Well, let's talk about Ross Barkley because I put a tweet out about this on Saturday, and it's not a frustration at Ross Barkley himself, but what the thing I actually said was, is there something in the, what's going on with the coaching that he hasn't really developed this season? Yes, he's had a bad season, we all know that. Come back from the World Cup, he got that injury and he's been played out of position, but he's still making those decisions, like you just said. He makes poor decisions. His final ball is poor because it's normally wrong. It's normally the wrong pass in the wrong place. And that's got to be down to coaching, surely, or just the coaches talking to him and saying, like, you need to start doing this. In the last couple of weeks, and we've mentioned this, I'm probably contradicting myself a little bit, that we had seen a little bit of maturity. Yeah. We said that Matt on the Blue Room, there had been a little bit of maturity. He was starting to pick the right passes. But in this game, when it's up to him to seize the advantage and up to him to start opening teams up, he's rushing things and he's making the wrong decisions and he's putting in places that the forwards aren't actually there. Or he's just trying to take too many people on. And you see, that worries me a little bit, that he's not heading in the right direction. And as soon as that happens, then you start worrying that the agents will be on the phone saying, you're going nowhere here, you need to go, you want to get on with your career, you're in the wrong place.
Yeah, I think in terms of style, it wasn't his type of game, wasn't he? He's the type of player who we seen against Manchester United when he played well in that game, even though it wasn't a typical, surging forward performance. He wasn't picking the ball up and beating a few men. He was mature. He had a lot of time on the ball because the game was stretched. And in this game, while he had time on the ball because Sunderland was sitting off and making it difficult for us, when there's so many men in front of him, he does struggle. He's not, although he's an attacking midfielder and he plays in that number 10 position, he's not what I'd call an orthodox 10. I think he's probably better coming from deep. And after half time on Saturday, I thought I wouldn't mind bringing McCarthy or Barry off and putting him in that deeper position, because I think when we seen against was it Manchester City earlier in the season, he brought him on and played him in that role, and he was outstanding. He had space to run into with the ball, and that's what you want to see him doing. And when you're playing against a team like Sunderland, who are really deep and compact, and there's not much space in the advanced areas of the pitch, that's what you need to do. Sometimes you need to get him on the ball a little bit deeper. So I think it will come eventually. I don't want us to see a complete regression from him in that sense, where he's always looking for the easy ball, he's always looking for the simple things to do. I still do want him to try things, but he's a young lad, and I understand what you're saying about the coaching, but he needs time to make those decisions, and I don't think the manager's helping at all this season in that sense, and the way he's moving about the team.
I think I'd take him out. No. I've been an advocate of leaving him in and hoping that he comes back into form, but I think we're just hindering him with that.
When you say take them on, you mean like a mafia star?
Well, yeah, the big people around do that kind of thing. I think he just needs to come out to the side. He's offering us nothing. No.
See, I'd say I disagree with that to an extent, because I think this time now, when we've not got any pressure on us, is a great opportunity to form partnerships going forward. When you've got next season, you're looking at, we're going to have a spine of the team which is going to be Lukaku, Barkley, Stones and McCarthy. So, well, hopefully. But if
don't. I'm just saying, I'd be amazed if them four are still in.
I think it's a good time to embed those principles and get them linking up together.
Well,
there's not much pressure.
I think that's okay if that's what his plan is, but we know that he hasn't got a plan. He doesn't look like he's got a plan, because if he had a plan to do... No, but if he had
I'm not.
If he had a plan to do that, we'd have Brendan Galloway in there, we'd have Tyus Brown.
Well, again, we'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute.
Well, that's fine, but back on Barkley, for me, as you disagree with me, I'm obviously going to disagree with you. he's costing us. Now, his decision making is atrocious at the moment.
The argument, that's not necessarily the argument. The argument is that him or is that...
I think it's you can only coach someone. The coaches will be on him every day, play that back. If you can't pass a ball 3 foot, which you can't, that's not a coach's problem, is it? For me, he beats a man comfortably, he'll drag it back. 4 or 5 times on Saturday, Lukaku's asking for it now. If that's a partnership, he gives him it, he doesn't. He drags it back again, comes back, he's trying to do too much. And when a player starts doing too much, you take them
out. I almost feel at times like he's halfway between one thing and another. Like you just saying, a deep line foot midfielder, and then there's the option.
There last year, though,
but what I'm saying is though, there's an option of being number 10, and I don't think he does either. It's all I feel like he's being slightly tethered or dragged back to do one thing when he wants to do another thing. So he's not doing the thing he wants to do to his full ability, but he's also not doing the other thing because his heart's not in it.
But he said he wants to play up front, didn't he?
Well then,
so maybe
just play him up front.
Just put him up front and say, let's see what you've got.
But don't forget the United game and the games before that, when he was looking close back to his best. It was a different system to what we played on Sunday. I mean, on Saturday went back to the 4-4-1-1 when he was on Lukaku, whereas the past few weeks it's been 4-1-4-1, and him and McCarthy have been in front of Barry together, and they've both been getting forward. And when you're playing that way, it's naturally going to be a little bit deeper, and you say that is more of an in-between, you know,
but I think
not central midfield and number 10, and that suited him better. And when he went back to the orthodox 10 position at the weekend, the space was limited. Sunderland easily cut him off by shutting off the passes into him, and it nullified his overall influence.
I think the other thing that hindered him was Osman didn't play on the left. Osman was on the right, he was in the middle of the park taking up the space. There was nothing on the left. Baines at 90 yards in front of him, because we just went back to what we have when Naismith plays out there, which is no left side, and that's been a problem. He hasn't been able to fill the Pienaar void. Said it many times that he should have tried Garbett out there, someone who's naturally left-footed who can play out there, and we're still seeing a narrow team.
2 fluky goals, you know, but he took the chance at the end of the day, whichever way you like it. Now, which side of the camp do you fall? Because if you went on social media after this game, there's two thoughts. One was we were rubbish, or we were very unlucky. So you get a lot of people going, well, that was a disgrace, and you get a lot of people saying, well, come on, we had X amount of shots, and they had 2 fluky goals that went in. So, Matt, I mean, where do you fall on that argument?
Not good enough for me. It's if you look at the team Sunderland played, and I know people were coming after them saying how well they defended and they were fantastic, they put the bodies on the line, but if you look at the team they had 3 strikers in there. You had Gomez, who's an attacking midfield player, Larson, who's an attacking midfield player. So in that setup, they haven't got many defensive players who are naturally defensively minded, so I expected us to cut through them a lot. I expected us to have 22 shots a goal, if not more, and the fact that we only have 4 shots on target in the match for me is just simply not good enough. We should have created a lot more clear-cut chances in the game, and we should have even, you know, maybe you can't account for 2 goals like that, but we should have had more than enough about us to score 3 or even more goals.
You say you can't account for goals like that, you just defend better,
yeah.
Which is always the argument. People can say they were fluky goals, but the first one, the lad was allowed to get a strike on the edge of the box with nobody stopping him, and it doesn't matter who deflected it in. It could have took any. He was allowed to get that shot in, and again the second goal, it's come down our left, and again there's nothing stopping it from getting into that box. You know,
but I'm saying even so, we should have enough to win the game. Anyway.
Well, another, you know, Baz, I mean, one thing you mentioned is we had 4 shots on target, but we had 20 shots. A lot of them were blocked and a lot went wide. But again, when a lot of the shots get blocked, what it says to me is that the opposition has got a lot of players behind the ball. So that reflects the way we play. It was slow, allowing players to get behind the ball.
We've said that all season, haven't we? It's been a problem all season. We haven't been able to fix that, whereas last year, the majority of the time we did, because we had the pace of Delafeu, where we just moved the ball quicker. I think once you start slowing the ball down, it's easy to defend against, and are easy to defend against. I don't think Lukaku gives us enough at times up front. He walked around on Saturday. The couple of opportunities he had, he spurned. You know, the one where Osman puts it through to him and he's waiting for the goalkeeper. He should be only have his eye on the ball. The other one, when it's played into him, he takes it out of his left foot. He should have got a shot away. His touches and plays. You know, he's got to be taking those chances, but. Again, true off on Saturday, he was isolated. Yeah. Lennon for the first time in a long time is enough. You know, we just didn't hardly see him. You know, and it was just it was a flip-flop performance. And
Did feel
you're
like
asking about what side I come down on. I come down on the side that was our 14th defeat of the season.
Yeah.
Not good enough. No.
14th in a very similar style as well.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily well beaten by anyone, just inept.
I mean, the goals, you know, it's a shot, it's Danny Graham and somehow leaps over Howard for the first one. The second one's a foul, a handball, as well as a deflection. So you can't, I know what people say when you go, well, the goals were unfortunately there, but as Matt said, we should have had more than enough to, even with those 2 goals, to come away with the points. And 4 shots on target against the side that is woeful, has been woeful this season. They weren't on Saturday, but has been woeful this season. Isn't good enough.
Yeah, I don't know what more to add. It's just very, very boring. But one thing I will add is, a thing that really annoys me is when you hear people say, well, they need it more, so they want it more. You know, they need that win, whereas we don't need that win, so what does it matter? And you think, well, the argument is, we've heard this from Martinez, is I'm not going to bring any kids in because we still want to finish top 10 and that's what our goal is. So we won't bring kids in because these players have got something to play for. And then people start saying, well, it doesn't really matter. So we you know, because we brought, you know, look at the players we brought on. We brought McGeady. Now, what does he add to anything?
There must be someone in the A.F.C. maybe you could come on and make a, you know, a better impact than him. But I mean, just looking at that as a whole, there's going to be a natural, although the players might not, you know, want to, you know, have a goal, but there's going to be a natural subconscious, you know, at the stage of the season when there's nothing to play for. It's you know, it's inherent, and you've probably been looking at that Man United game for a while, thinking, oh, it's going to be a big game. You know, we need to put a big performance in there. Played well and maybe just stepped off a little bit, and it's not good to hear, but it's just natural human instincts at times.
That's why you want to try different players. Now you
Absolutely.
know what, I want to get in here, I want to put a tackle in, I want to work hard. And I think for me, and it's been a problem all season, there's too many players who are comfortable, too many players who know, and you know who I'm talking about, who know that they're playing no matter what, and it goes right the way through.
Yeah, it's a major problem. I don't know what to do. Pack it in.
I think he needs to.
I don't know what to do. Well, like the manager. Oh, what's it to do? He's just gone all Gordon Lee. Yeah. You know what? I'll just have to miss.
I just pack it in.
Pack Warren. Everton.
Just everything.
Everton.
You're a winner, really.
Maybe no, we're not at that stage yet.
But just looking at that game, I think it really drilled home, and he needs to bring in a P&R type player. There's someone I think that and the goalie in the window need to be.
The goalie's safe.
Wow.
The goalie's safe.
I'm not even going to get to that now.
That's another programme.
But I think that's the area we need to look at, because we've got a lot of players in that squad. Barkley, Lennon, Lukaku, even McCarthy to an extent, and Morales, who are at the best when the pitch is free and the game's stretched, and we desperately need someone with that little bit of guile, bit of intelligence. And I think Baines is our top assistant this year with 9, and our best midfielder with return with 2 assists in the league, which is Gareth Barry. So that's just simply not good enough for a midfield.
So, I mean, one point I wanted to bring up was actually, and this is going to sound dead stupid, I'm actually going to compare Everton to Bayern Munich now. I've done this before with Barcelona, when I thought Everton were Barcelona, then I found out they actually weren't. And I probably not even Barcelona day, more like Espanyol. But I was watching them the other day, and having a player like Xabi Alonso, it makes such a difference to your team. And the only one I can compare him to is someone like Darren Gibson. When you've got a player like that in your team, and now the boss, isn't he? Alonso plays.
Xabi Alonso.
He's the Spanish Darren Gibson, isn't he?
He is with ginger beard, which I approve of. But a player who can pick one pass and cut out 5 tippy-tappy nonsense passes, and I think that's something we missed so much when Gibson was playing. I would love us to go and find a player like that. I don't know if there's many about. I don't know if there's many about that, but I'm sure there's loads playing for really, really obscure Spanish teams. Racing Santander have probably got loads of them.
Pirlo's on a free, isn't he?
Yeah, Pirlo's on a free. We can go and get Pirlo. Amazing, amazing. But it'd be a boss to just have a player like that in the midfield who just cuts out all that crap. Because
it'd be boss just to have Gibson.
Boss to just have players. When you see United without Carrick, I think that makes such a difference. If you can change the point of attack it makes such a difference to your side. And this is it's a position that doesn't actually exist, but you know, the quarterback position, which is nonsense because that doesn't really exist. That's an American football quarterback thing.
Hollywood passer.
Yeah, but it'd be great to have one of them in the team who could just change the way we play, you know, change the point of attack, go from left to right in one pass, and that's something I think we could do with. So I mean, Matt, you're like one of these hipster football fans. Come on, name some right now on the spot. And I don't want them to be famous, and they can't play for any top 5 teams. Come on.
The only one I can figure out the top of my head is a young lad in Juventus called Strora, but he played it the other night.
Yeah, they won the league, but top 5. They're also in the Champions League semi-finals.
Sorry, if you look at their midfield and the players they've got there, when everyone's fit, he's not going to be getting a game for them, so he may be on loan, something like that. Get him in. He's that sort of player. So
I hear this completely off topic, right? But I heard the cracking story about the player Juventus have signed from Empoli, right? And they're signing him not only because he's good, but because he rides his pedal bike to training every morning, and they love the fact that he's got no interest in the trappings of football. There you go. I mean, you can't get any more hipster than that, can you?
Yeah, but can he play the Hollywood pass?
It doesn't matter, he can ride a bike. No. I mean, that's essentially...
You started off by asking, you've come up with a whole new story.
No, that's because he needed me a hipster.
Jordan Ive doesn't have an agent. Doesn't need one, talks with mum and dad. So there you go, we're just going to throw random stories in.
But he does have an agent. But he have an agent this summer.
I think one person who could probably play that role is Gary Taylor-Fletcher.
What about
with the grey hair?
What about?
I can play that actually.
Do you think the El Cleverco can play there?
No.
The Clevstead is now getting linked with goal scorer. He's now getting linked with Wolfsburg, for God's sake.
No, he's a goal scorer.
The magic of the Tim Sherwood Fun Factory, it's unbelievable.
Why didn't we get Tim Sherwood? Just have the gillet on the side.
They'd be selling. Kickback wouldn't be able to keep up with the demand for gillets.
That's all those who had Fellaini wigs on.
Yeah. People are like, you know, people in Aston are getting robbed for the gillets. No face gillets would just be the #1 bestseller in Liverpool.
That's modelled by the Wood.
I'd love the share.
Imagine him. The sheriff.
That's what they call it. Oh, shut up! The sheriff. That's what I was thinking of. The sheriff. The sheriff. I'm surprised.
Sheriff of County Road.
I'm surprised he doesn't actually call himself the sheriff.
He probably does. He probably does.
Yeah.
Goes in, just got the pads.
Just what he's known.
Just there. The sheriff is a new. Probably goes in with a stencil. There's a new sheriff in town.
It's all about the sheriff's win rate, yeah.
Oh
Lord, the sheriff.
Delph's loving it.
I don't even know how we got here. But
you were talking about Ped, like Gibson, just let's get Gibson.
We're talking about things that aren't really ever going to happen.
Pirlo to Everton.
Pirlo to Everton.
Sherwood to Everton.
Yeah.
The sheriff pass.
30-yard passes. Sherlock.
There must be a player called Sherlock.
That's what I'm laughing with.
The Sherlock.
That's what I'm laughing with. Pirlo gets signed by Sherwood. That's
Pirlo to Villa in the summer. Tony Adams. I wanted to bring Pirlo. I wanted to bring him and Sherwood together. The Villa badge.
So that's when he'll come off and he'll go.
Beard off.
I dedicate that free kick to the sheriff. It's going to be called
the sheriff.
It's going to be called the Sherlock. That's what they're going to call it.
Oh my God, this is getting.
Every time he's pinged onto the top corner, he'll go.
He
went over and go. He went over and go. That's for the Sherlock.
He did stand there and go like that to Adebayor. That I don't really want.
The Sherlock.
Not after doing all that. I don't know where. I don't know where to go.
The Sherlock.
See Jermaine Beckford's goal.
Oh, Jermaine Beckford fell over. He fell over. Right, this is the argument.
He fell over.
We're going to have this out on Twitter. At Toffee TV run, right. Anyone seen his goal? Right. If he meant to chip the keeper, then by slipping, he wouldn't have chipped the keeper. But he actually didn't. So by slipping, anyone who's ever seen like those dodgy penalties, Beckham took one, who's for Bayern Munich the other day. When they slip, it puts chip on it.
Did he shoot at the goal?
He did.
Did he try to score?
He did.
Did the ball go in the net?
He did.
No further questions.
Did he mean it to do that though?
Did he mean to slip?
Yeah.
Obviously not. I think as a runner, I'll just slip.
I think he meant to do it, but he didn't do it properly.
Yeah.
But the slip made him do it properly.
It was going to be a Jeff Thomas.
Was John Stones' Panenka against Juventus good?
Yeah.
Did he mean to do the
Didn't slip.
Says himself, shinned it, he went over there. He meant to put it there, he went over there.
He says that.
Scored the goal.
This is not
modesty.
He scored modesty.
Not happening.
Listen, get Beck's back. He's about 40, but he still knows it.
Right. Short one. Right, on Twitter we asked, Toffee tweets this week, do we want the Europa League? We've mentioned this before, there was a chance we could get Europa League and the Fair Play League. Now England has that place, so someone who doesn't deserve it for being absolute tarts on the pitch will get a Europa League spot. Which is basically the top and bottom of it, isn't it? People who can't tackle very well.
Irony of that is Sam Allardyce's team's in the running for it.
No. It's not just yellow cards, not just red card. It comes down to, you know...
Doesn't it come down to booing?
It comes down to
conduct and stuff.
manager conduct, fans, whether you play an attractive style of football.
The possession.
The possession. We've won the possessions. It comes
Get some for winning
down,
the possession.
all these things comes down to, you know, how long your kit deal is with a certain company. Again, we've won on that.
Have Man United just signed a kit deal for 750 million for 10 years?
Bayern Munich just signed one.
We got it for 10 years, and so do United.
Bayern Munich just signed one for 750 million with Adidas. Yet both of their players who fell over in that penalty shootout had Adidas boots on. Irony.
Hashtag there will be hate.
They make wool boots now. Amazing.
For Wolves.
For Wolves.
Just for Wolves.
That's why they wears them. So that was the question. So first of all, Europa League. If we manage to get it, we're in the top 3 at the moment. Liverpool top, because they're going to get Europa League, then they get it. So it's either us, West Ham or Burnley. Next week is the battle. It's the battle next week. Out the bat. The battle of the top 10 / race for the Europa League Mega Bowl.
Probably.
That's what it's actually going to get called on Sky. Race for the Fair Play League Mega Bowl.
It's not really going to get called that, is it? It's not. There's not going to be any
They're probably not even going to send anyone to cover it. They'll probably just send Kamara. Unbelievable! There's just been a yellow card and that puts Everton out of the running for.
There's probably more on that West Ham game than anything else.
To show Baines not playing anyway, because he loves just giving the ball back to the opposition, doesn't he? Anyway, that's really no good.
Another 5.
That's probably why.
I'm sure you get points for
See,
that.
I think Everton have gone, Baines, come off.
Against West Ham, I just play Pina because he just gets kicked all game, doesn't he? I just play. But fair, you know, do Baz, Europa League, do you want it? Honestly.
Yeah.
That it. So 2nd of July.
That's me. I'll be honest with you, that's my problem. Just because last year's pre-season was, well, there wasn't a pre-season basically last season. Starting a bit early. I would if we played the kids. In the first
Well, Matt, Roberto's come out today or whatever and he said, if we got in it, happy days. We've still got to go to the pre-season tour in whatever it is, Thailand, and whatever. That's it. Just 1 game in Thailand, 2 games in Thailand. So that's got to happen. He said, and I think there are that happens when there's a Europa League game as well. So figure that one out for yourselves. But he said, I'll play the kids. Because the first round, I don't even think some of the first teams will be back because there's a European date or international date on the, is it the 9th or something like that of June, so they wouldn't be back, but he said he played the kids. So again, you know...
Yeah, I'll definitely be keen on it. If you look at, like I said, the pre-season last year, it had no structure to it whatsoever, it was just completely all over the place, and if we were competing in a competition, it would ensure that we have some structure to our pre-season, that players get competitive football, that, like you said, the young lads get a go, and it's clearly not going to bump them in the last few games of this season, so it'll be a good chance for them to play in a European tournament, sample some new venues, get some experience, and I think if we should get into the tournament proper, we would have learned from this.
Well, let's be honest, I mean, you know, 2nd of July you turn up, you're playing A.F.C. Clive, you know, at the Ped and Baz Strucker Stadium. Do you know what I mean?
This happens, can't take a Fletcher, by the way.
Do you know what I mean? That's what you're playing, you know, FC Anadon at the whatever.
Headache Stadium. Or the non-headache stadium.
Like Rise of the Machines Terminator 3 Stadium or something, I don't know, some wacky name. You were playing no marks, aren't you?
Not good as Dick Sport and good.
No, Dick Sport and good stadium is still the best. That's still the best. So I'm all up for it. I don't really see any problems in it. If we got into Europa League this season anyway, then
I think a problem that a lot of people have with it is they blame how poor we've been this season on the Europa League.
Those people are
That's a fallacy to me. It's just totally incorrect.
The way I look at it is...
I mean, it's incorrect just from what we've said many times. The manager's own mindset, not the fact that the players...
The only thing that worries me is we interviewed Roberto Martinez last season, and it was a week before the season finished, and we knew we had the Europa League, but we didn't know whether we were going in the group stages or we had to play the qualifying games, draw down to Hull and the FA Cup. And he basically said there's going to be 2 pre-seasons depending on where you finish, and we ended up having no pre-season. So if we've got to start the 2nd of July,
so we'll have to have pre-season.
God knows what's going to happen, but for me, I think
there'll be 3 pre-seasons.
Maybe there will. It's worrying. That's the thing that worries me. But we asked you on Twitter anyway, Toffee TV. John Quinn has said, no thanks, was fun when it lasted and not solely to blame, but we can't compete with this distraction, unfortunately. Ben Kukera said, yes, a club of ours belongs in Europe, except next season we should learn from our mistakes and play our youth. Well, that's sort of what Roberto Martinez said in the early ones. Danny's _A.F.C said, yes, we aim to finish in Europe every season, so why wouldn't you want it? Because, only way forward for us. Valhalla Viking has said, absolutely want it. If we are to improve as a team, we need to be in the cup. No excuses. Dave Downey has said, no, we don't deserve it. We don't have the mentality for it. And I despise Thursday and Sunday.
You don't get everything you deserve in football. You can take what you can.
I just like the fact that he doesn't like Thursday and Sundays. That's brilliant from Dave. Carl Granty has said, he said, what's the point in trying to perform well in the league if you don't want to play in the Europe competition? Which again, I don't fully understand. Jay Baggett, 97, has said, if you're meant a squad revamp, yes, but otherwise no. It gives them an easy excuse to perform poorly. Stuart Thomas said, not this season coming. Of course you want Europe, but I'd rather we play better in the league and earned our place there next season rather than getting the back door via the Fair Play League. Now, why?
Didn't Fulham get to the final when they were on the Fair Play?
So would these same people say no to the Champions League if we got someone managed to get a back door way in that because we don't deserve it, we didn't qualify?
It's like it's when people use the Thursday, Sunday. If we got the Champions League, what's the difference? Wednesday, Saturday?
Exactly, yes.
Chris Jones says 100% yes, might force some decent pre-season preparation too, better than meaningless friendlies. Tom Fox has said not unless we increase the squad size, which is unlikely, apart from a more intense pre-season, I can't see the benefit.
I don't think it's squad size, I think it's quality. Yeah. It's more, you've got kids like Matt Trenivo, you've got the kids there to bring through, if we can get better players in that squad, that will improve us. Not having 30 players, we can only have 25.
I also think it wasn't the size of the squad, it was just the fact that he kept on changing it and played out there. No one ever played it.
Hopefully he will learn from it as well. If whether he learns from his mistakes or not, it's obviously been a bit of an issue this year, hasn't it? But as a manager, you would hope he's looked at it this year and he's learned from it. And when people talk about the Europa League, I always use Atletico Madrid as an example of what it can do for the team.
Oh, you're such a hipster.
No, but they won it twice, and Simeone used the competition to forge a winning mentality. And for so long, they were considered like a team like us who were perennial bottlers. They always faltered away their rivals. They never turned up in cup finals, and he used that to forge a better mentality in the team. And I think if it's used in that way, it can be a great step.
You look at Seville done that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You watch teams like Seville who know that every year they've only really got one thing they can go for. They understand, and I think this is a mentality shift. Teams like Seville understand their place in Spanish football. They aren't going to win the league. Maybe now and again, if the top teams are so focused on the Champions League, like last year in Spain, they understand also that they're not really going to go down. Yeah. So anywhere in between is good, as long as they get it, as long as they're trying to win that cup.
There's two things. I look at Seville when they had Fabiano and Canute up front, and on the youth they got the Europa League final twice, and I think if they'd been a Champions League place, they got in there, and they built that, like we just said about Atletico Madrid. But the other thing that is, there's three cup competitions in this country. I was saying off air before, we got no chance to win the Premier League, but that's one, so we're down to two. We have the Carling Cup and the FA Cup. We always throw the Carling Cup away, so we're left with one, which is the FA Cup. Why not have the Europa League as well? And it's easier, albeit it's about 18 games, so when you have to qualify. to win the Europa League and get the Champions League that way than it will be to finish fourth.
And what you just said there is like, listen, we're always going to win 10, 11 games around the season, 10, 11, 12 games a season, not a problem. That's always going to keep you like around the top 10 pretty much. Pretty much now, your Europa League is top 7 now. So if you can add a couple more wins, you're going to get top 7 pretty much on the back of it. And as you just said there, you've only got a certain amount of cups to go for, you go for them. We're looking the way the cups are structured as well. League Cup is the first half of the season pretty much. FA Cup is the second half of the season. You just think, throw everything at those things. It's the league that you should be, for me, we should be resting players in, not the cup competitions.
The League Cup is the one, you know, that's what I said, 8 games, 7 games to win.
Yeah.
We've never had a good go at it, and look, as supporters, we want to see them win a trophy. That's what it's all about. You know, 20 years.
That's spot on. And like, even in Europe, the days away, you know, we've had some cracking ones this year. You know, we went to Wolfsburg, it was brilliant, and I went to Bern, it was absolutely fantastic. And that's what you live for as a supporter, isn't it? You get into those big games.
I also think Chelsea have sort of shown away this season. Yes, their players are much better than ours, but he played for most of the first half of the season with 7 or 8 players playing every game. And he said, I'm going to get the League One playing this way, and then I'm just going to drive through games second half of the season. You can always say the same for these competitions. You don't need to make all these changes. Right, let's have a few more. Dave Spofford said, of course, a phenomenal opportunity to display our unique mentality, create memories, and slowly swear past teams into a go.
Sounds familiar.
That's tremendous work there.
What was his name again?
That was Dave Spofford, aka.
Where's he gone? Roberto.
Gunderson_Road said, of course, it's what we are fighting for next season in the league anyway, so why not take the opportunity? It's the best chance to get Champions League football, in my opinion, which is right. I actually think it's easier to win the Europa League than get top 4. It's easy. Well, I'm just reiterating.
No, you're right. Of course, you're right.
Everton Canada says, not unless we invest massively in the squad to cope with the Thursday, Sunday games, and that's not going to happen. Yeah, but how do you know it's not going to happen unless we're in the competition?
No, but the other thing is, you know,
that's like saying
play your main team up until Christmas, then they're knackered, rest them in January, they're not tired in September. Unlike our manager thought they were, started resting for no
Bartholomew 53 says, no thanks. There you go. Owen A.F.C. Quakey says, only if we use it in the right way, easy to give the young players experience. This way it doesn't affect league form. But again, I'm sitting here thinking, well, what difference does it make if it affects league form? Because all the best we can do in the league now, and I'm sorry if this sounds defeatist, is get back in the Europa League. The Champions League, it's gone. I'm sorry, it's gone.
It'd be an anomaly, wouldn't it? Like Liverpool almost won the league last year. That was an anomaly. That wouldn't normally happen. So if we got in there, it'd have to be a season like that. But it's unlikely.
People were attributing our 5-game run to being out the Europa League, and you look at us the last 2 games, and we've looked like we were earlier in the season. And probably the worst we were throughout the entire campaign was over Christmas when there was no Europa League games at all. So I think it is an easy excuse to make that it's something that we can use.
Well, let's just get. This is a strange one, and I'm sorry for pulling you on this, Alexander Rigby. No, 38 league games and one of the cups are priority. Need to finish top 7 and win cup. What do you want to finish top 7 for? Honestly, what do you want to finish? Because you might as well finish 12th and win a cup. Who cares? If you don't want to be in the Europa League, then why finish top 7? That's what,
just to keep its money, I suppose, and to keep you in that top elite group of teams, isn't it? But
Goodison View says, beats the pre-season we had last year. Edward Bowman says, if it came along, I would take it. If you think it's a reason we've been crap, then you're asking the wrong question. Well, I'm not asking that question, so whatever. Marcus has said, yes, madness that people are complaining about us getting through the back door. Listen, there's nothing wrong with going through the back door now and again. Liam Henley says, no, even though just given us experience, we've played the best football this season after we've been knocked out, beat some good sides. Les Roberts says, none of it means starting our season in July. I'd go without Europe next season and go out for all the cup. No excuses. Les, shut up.
that's because you wear tweed. Stop it.
No, I fully agree. If we actually said, right, you know what, we're going to throw everything at the League Cup and then everything at the FA Cup, I fully agree with that. But will that happen? I don't know.
Won't happen because of budgets.
Alex Cog has said, yes, have the strongest BPL starting lineup set. What the bleeding hell's a BPL? Use the squad kids for Europa. No chopping and changing every game. James Corbett has said, yes, no question. People who don't want to see the club in Europe need to reevaluate their reasons for being alive. No, supporting them. Jimmy Milner says, possible nice away days to the Pharaohs would be ace and gives the kids a chance to shine all in favour.
James Milner, was it?
It was Jimmy Milner, yeah. Slightly on our blues.
Come sign for us if you want, James. Yeah. Good work, us on the left.
Hibbo Copter says, yes, I love seeing us in Europe. Many games means more opportunities for the youngsters. Adrian Egley says, yes, Martinez wants to create memories. Those fans who went to Lille, Wolfsburg, will have them forever, especially Lille because you're probably all kettled. We need more. And Ryan Lowe says, the amount of games we've played this year is probably as much as it would take to qualify. Go for the League Cup. So I think that's the balance. The balance is, some people say, yes, we want it. Some people say, no, throw everything at the League Cup or throw everything at the FA Cup. So I agree with both of those camps in a way, but I can't really have these people who say it's a distraction. This is football. You're supposed to win trophies. That's sort of the top and bottom of it. You've got to be in tournaments to win trophies. And
if we won it this year, everyone would have been talking about this season, even though we were rubbish in the league. And if you look back at last year, how much better we were as a whole, that would have been quickly forgotten in the grand scheme of things if we'd gone on and won a cup. So that's how important it is.
And I reiterate, Champions League for me, it's gone. Oh, I know that's sad, but it has gone. It's like the top four have just reaffirmed their positions this year. They've got rid of all the issues, whether it be a new manager or paying off a stadium or bedding in new players. All those issues for me now have gone. And when you see clubs like Manchester United going around buying the hottest property in Europe, you know, a good 2 months before pre-season starts, then you just think to yourself, well, you know, what's the point? You know, so before we all hang ourselves, I mean, you know, let's have a go for the Europa League. But there you go. Thanks for your sponsors. Don't forget, there's a question every week. #Toffee tweets. Keep sending in your replies. So West Ham. Race for the top 10 / Fair Play League. Mega Bowl. No yellow cards. Fans, behave yourselves.
The trophy should be like a no
I'm
yellow card.
going to this one as well, so I'll tell you what to
Martinez, no taking your coat off and throwing it down. No throwing your shoes at anyone.
No Arsene Wenger, water bottle.
Play Pina. Make sure he gets kicked left, right and centre. Where it doesn't matter how bad he is. It's a weird one, this, isn't it? Because it's like it's again, it's a nothing game, but it's what does he do? I mean, does he want Europa? Does he send his players up and say, don't kick anyone, no best behaviour? You know, poke people in their eyes when no one's watching, or they're going to deck you back. I mean, it's a you saw last week flip flops. I mean, it's a stinge on this to me. It has got absolutely nothing riding on it yet. In a weird way, it's got a Europa League place riding on it. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be funny to watch, isn't it? Like I said, I'm going to it, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing how both teams approach it. But I think I was listening to Jacob Steinbeck from The Guardian on their podcast, and he's a West Ham fan, and he was saying that apparently West Ham don't want it anyway. Like they can tear it down, and
they can, yeah.
Yeah. So what he was saying essentially was that even if they get it,
well,
it could still be.
The thing about it is, I mean, the people who run that club don't want to be in Europe.
Exactly.
They've made that very obvious that they just don't. They want to be out. In fact, I believe they're going to have a referendum soon, and they're going to pull out of Europe. That's completely different. Baz, come on, what do you want?
What do you want in general?
Generally, what?
Happiness, world peace, no conservative government. I don't know.
Black hair.
No, I don't. I'm happy with my banners.
I don't want red hair. I know red.
No, I think it is going to be a strange one. I didn't know whether West Ham would want it, just with this new stadium and this new, you know, all of a sudden you believe that this hit club that's going to win everything because they've got new ground. But I don't know. What I would like to happen for these last two games is forget about the Europa. If we get it,
We get it.
fair it is. You know, but I would like him now that he's essentially given 6 points up in the last 2 weeks by just not being bothered generally. I'd like to see him throw some of the young players and I'd like to see Joe come back in.
Who's boss, who, let's be honest, is boss at kicking footies into basketball nets.
And then running over and showing the Everton crest to the camera. Forget the basketball bit, that was him. It could have been, but he could have picked it up and it was like a Cambridge or just a ball with loads of Gary Taylor Fletcher faces on and just going like that. But no, I want to see like Galloway giving it, you know, even if it's just on the bench, Ledson if it's just on the bench, these kind of plays, or get Garbutt in. Garbutt will probably play anyway because Baines, you know, just put a couple of players in who, like you were saying, but trying to start thinking ahead to next season, thinking like, let's try different things. I don't want them to play narrow 4-3-3 with all the same allies.
Because you're right, because on the 2nd of July when we're playing FC4 Katina, you're going to need, you've got some team.
You've got anything. We've got a few sides.
You're going to need these youngsters, and you don't want them to go in there, you know, playing against the likes of players like Boris the Blade and, you know,
get Tybo in.
Sydney
Get
Poitier.
Tybo in right back. Tybo right back. Galloway in there. Just say to Garbutt, look, you know, believe that you'll be captain against FC Hamilton. It'll be amazing. Just don't go to Liverpool. Just stay. Stay. But you need them players. We're going to countries like, you know, that one that's in the Avengers.
Wales. Where you know, they tried to blow up Wales, yeah. Milton Keynes. You know, these kind of backwater places.
Latvia.
These places, these kids need a bit of a...
Let's be honest, they're getting a Latvian team or something, aren't we? They're getting some more.
I'd go there because I want to go and see Dr. Doom's castle. So I would love that to get
I
there.
just like Dr. Doom, but I think Universal Orlando, where I'll probably be when we're playing FC Latvia or something.
I just want to swear them, but I won't.
Keep it clean.
TNS will have. Liverpool got them.
I had that once, and you know what?
TNS.
I had that once, and it took ages to get rid of. I mean, I was in and out the doctors for weeks, and it's a horrible, horrible, horrible disease.
There's nowhere to go now. No, but I think in terms of development, you know, you're talking about trying to develop players and bring them on, and you know,
Because again,
what better time to give them?
Again, right? The under-18s are very close to winning their league, and this has happened how many times? It's happened a few times, hasn't it? Through the Youth Cup or the Premier League Youth Cup or whatever, and we get all these brilliant players, and they go from the under-18s and end up playing for Berry, basically.
You only have to look at the 2 leagues. The under-18s are flying high, and the under-21s are, well, scrapping to avoid relegation, aren't they? So that shows there's maybe something fundamentally wrong. I think Martin has mentioned it a few times with the transition from that age up until, you know, out the teenage years. So,
I mean, I've always thought the best thing to do for transitions was just play the kids,
Exactly.
give them games.
and yeah, it is the perfect opportunity without doubt. And I think
When are we going to get a chance?
Exactly.
When are we going to get another? Hopefully we won't get another chance for a few years because we'll be going for things, though, that's what I mean. But essentially, it means nothing. I've got 2 games where it doesn't mean anything. So it is a chance to blood those kids and get them in, see if they can get up and down the pitch, see if they can take a tackle, see if they can rattle Mark Noble.
Just don't get booked! Just don't get booked!
Just don't get booked! Stroke Noble's hair as you get up.
Just don't get booked!
it's a unique opportunity, as you would say, wouldn't it, Martin?
It is a unique, you are right, it's a unique opportunity for the group.
I want to play against FC Ladder Estate. I don't care what anyone says.
I think for me, I would definitely be looking at 2 or 3 of them and getting them in there.
Because I just want to
see
trip.
where we go.
Lovely trip to somewhere Scandinavia, maybe, you know.
Still expensive, there.
Kinderegg A.F.C. You know, they're another top team.
That could be next week's Toffee tweets, your team names, your European team names.
We'll get someone who you're not supposed to get.
Villarreal.
They're in the Champions League. Bring them into this. Just the latest game. Kalina's coming back to referee as well.
And they'll probably sign Carragher and bring Gerrard in on loan as well.
Less fair than the front.
Less fair than
Thank you.
Less fair than sharing me and right. He's our player.
And the kit will just be Gillette.
And we'll only be able to play Bezant in goal. He was on the bench by the way, yesterday, age 56. But no, where did we go? Anyway, yeah, West Ham away. But it doesn't really matter, and you would hope that he would use that opportunity to try and get these players in, because like you say, you know, come July, we're going to need some of the, you know, or potentially we will need some of these lads, and we don't want them having to make their debuts with in a game, you know, European tournament.
Yeah.
The good thing is, all these team names we've mentioned that we're going to be playing potentially in the Europa League, if we don't play the Europa League, we'll just play them in pre-season anyway, because at Ped and Baz, and it's and probably Marines ground as well, so, you know.
I just want us to play whatever team Gary Taylor Fletcher goes to. I want revenge. Revenge for Thailand. I want it to be like the Hangover Part 2, Thailand Part 2, and he's just tied up in the back of a car, and he just gets out and legs it off.
It's
Battered by a monkey.
Battered by a monkey.
He's a Liverpool fan as well.
I don't know where it's called.
It's just a bit sad. Like, last year was so good there. Like, I remember coming off the ground that day and just being...
Thailand?
No.
Sorry, it wasn't even at the ground, for God's sake!
Oh, not to mention that.
Ping pong balls! Happy ending! Ping pong balls!
Matt's happy ending. Yeah, with the Baines free kick.
Yeah, that was great. That was like the start. It felt like something really special. We're going back there now, and it's
Lukaku was like
yeah,
a powerhouse.
Came off the bench. It was his first game, wasn't it? Came off the bench and was awesome. So felt like something really special. And here we are, you know, next year.
Here we are talking about A.F.C.
Kindergarten, Gary Taylor Fletcher,
Duracell Bunny FC, you know, all these boss teams that we're going to get. Sherwood Forest, the Sheriff.
Everything. We might even get any. We look a bit stupid. They've West Ham. We want that Europa League place. Who knows? You might be sending just a team of Gareth Barry's out on Saturday just to get booked. Just to make sure we don't get any.
Message. You'll be in.
Message captain.
Message Barry Naismith. This is the team. Cody
Get Ferguson on.
Cody will just run round kicking
People trying to get sent off like he did the Swan.
Barry on.
Don't get shouting people.
Barry on.
The bench closing up, bro. Jimmy Cole will be there massaging West Ham people trying to get illegal.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Listen, happy days. We don't know. We don't know what we want. We're just gonna see.
I just hope we win.
Do you know what I want? I just want the season to finish. I'm sick of it. It's been crap.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But it'd be nice to finish with 2 wins.
Just go and play pure football and just battle them.
Right.
Brendan Galloway hat-trick.
Next week's show, we're going to be exclusively unveiling the new Everton kit. We're just trying to get people to watch. So make sure. Just disclaimer, we're not.
That's a lie.
No, I shouldn't have said that. I should have just had a big finger flash up going, we're not.
He's blagging. It'd be phenomenal.
Yeah. So anyway, and so I don't care what score. I hope we get beaten and they get 28 bookings and we roll.
I'm going to play. I'm going to do the FIFA video this week. West Ham Everton was going to kick everyone. I
believe though. I believe that UEFA do take that into consideration.
FIFA game.
Yeah.
That's it. We've got no chance there. Bezic's all over the place.
Right. Make sure you comment below. Get involved with the comments. Leave anything you want to say there. Leave some nice things. That's it. What you want.
Talk about Gary Taylor Fletcher.
Give us your best memories of Gary Taylor Fletcher, because you know we've got so many out there. And make sure you Toffee TV1 on Twitter as well. You join us there as well. Big thanks to Matt. He's been our weekly hipster with his Copper Classic. There's the Copper Classics as well. He's so hipster with your Johan Cruyff, Jan Olsen.
Maybe they just started Leicester tweets. I don't know. Just showing there. They've been amazing.
And from Baz and me, we'll be back next week. Maybe not. I'm not really bothered. I'm just about clinging on at the moment, basically. But we'll see. Catch you later.